Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself, Suprit, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for May 12th, 2021. Joined by Abhishekh and AJ here. What's up, baby?
I'm absolutely fine, Suprit. How about you?
I'm hanging in there, man, hanging in there. So, we had blood and guts last week. Before we get
Hmm.
into Dynamite this week, I want to get your small thoughts on blood and guts, the whole, controversy with the, finish. What you think about it?
Uh, I have only seen the match from last week. I have not seen the whole show yet. With regards to the controversy, the thing is, I have also, said about the same thing in the past. You would remember that there was a spot with regards to Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy. There was a match which, took them to the backstage, and they came to the stage, and they, went up, and Matt Hardy took the fall from the scaffolding. And he, the place where he took the fall, that also was quite reminiscent of what happened at Blood and Guts. It didn't look good. It was very, apparent that it was, you can say, very cushioned, or it took the illusion away from the fans that it hurt. Back in the Attitude Era, there were a lot of falls from 20 feet or maybe 15 feet or whatever. So, but the fact was that, us, when we were kids, uh, you know, we thought that it was fucking real, that he took that fall, and fucking that it hurt quite badly, and he would be out of action, indefinitely. So there was an illusion. They, you know, you can say, uh, they make up, that is not, a very good word, but they make up that space, so well, the WWE, that it didn't even, entered our brains that it was fake, or it didn't hurt at all. But what we saw at Blood and Guts, the cardboard, we saw that the cardboard shit, it it was very apparent. So AEW, yes, understandable, it is a new company, and stuff like that, but they need to work on this stuff. It also happened with Sammy Guevara, Matt Hardy, and it also happened this time. So they need to work on their production, their, whatever you want to call that, and camera angles. Yes, they need to work on that. So, or else, it takes away the fans from that illusion that, it is real or it is fake, or the whole storyline and what they were trying to sell, that what is happening, you know it took away, it took us away. And Jericho, appeared this week on Dynamite after that fall, because it was apparent that it didn't hurt, probably as much as it should have. So, it was not very, probably, hurting us as fans too, that, you know, it didn't hurt quite as much as it should have from that fall from the top of the cage. What was your opinion regarding that?
Uh, First off, the match was good. And then I would also, in regards to modern day war games, I would put that on number two, I guess. And yeah, like almost everyone has the same opinion regarding, the finish could have been done better, you know. And the AEW, needs to, start being a little professional when it comes to this type of situation.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
other than that, man, the other positive thing that's going around with AEW is that fans are coming back and we are getting full crowd now.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That is a good thing. That is also probably one of the things that probably is driving probably the fans away. That same building and probably the same crowd and same aesthetic. Even if you are putting the matches out probably for the sake of keeping the fans hooked, you know stadium stampede or blood and guts on free television. Probably it should have been on a pay-per-view. Some people were saying that you could have uh, stretched it a while, the storyline, and you could have had that on a pay-per-view or maybe in front of the fans. But uh, probably, but you know it is what it is. But yes, I'm absolutely stoked for the fans coming in, and the atmosphere which AW had pre-lockdown, that was fucking impeccable, and I'm excited for it. Absolutely.
So let's talk about this week's Dynamite, man. 3 title matches, and man, the whole show was great. You could say to some extent there were some negative parts in this week's episode too.
Yes, I really enjoyed this week's show. Many said that it looked, or probably they experienced it as much that it, felt a lot longer than it probably was. But the fact was, yes, it was a very entertaining show.
So on this week's card, we had a IWGP United States Championship match, John Moxley versus Yuji Nagata. We had the AEW World Tag Team title match between the Young Bucks and SCU. So the Pinnacle, they had a little coronation. Orange Cassidy versus PAC. So this was regarding the World Championship situation. And in the main event, we had the TNT Championship match, Darby Allin defending the title against Miro, and so much more. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. You can check out our previous content. Everything you need will be in the description below. So let's start from the top, man. Dynamite. So they kicked off with the IWGP United States Championship match. It was John Moxley defending the title against Yuji Nagata. So commentators were mentioning that this is I think this was uh, the last time Nagata appeared on TNT was 23 years ago, something like that. So they gave Nagata a grand entrance. So Moxley, he came out to some 90s or 80s kind of type of music called Wild Things.
Mhm.
It looks like
Yes.
Tony Khan has an obsession with old school music.
It was, I guess saw a tweet that it was probably an homage to Onita. So I did not know what, uh, is it referring to, but uh, probably you would be knowing better than me with
uh
regards to that.
I think I will it will take some time for me to get used to this because I didn't mind the
Hmm.
OG AEW theme for Moxley.
I didn't mind it too. I like the New Japan theme better, but AW's theme was you know as much as it was also good. But this one is a little different. Probably, it is with regards to his new character that now he is a dad, and it is something, now he is he is in a tag team with Eddie Kingston, and there is a shift of a mindset that now he is not an individual a rattlesnake sort of a personality. And now it is a different perspective towards the business, so that probably would resonate more with that character. Let's see.
So I think this was a short but good match. Nagata can still go. So the if you want to go through the backstory, so it was actually John Moxley who challenged Yuji Nagata to this match. So what do you think about this match, Abhi? And what was your I think this was your first time seeing Yuji Nagata.
Yes, it was the first time. There was a story with regards to this match that also, probably Tony Khan mentioned this on, Busted Open recently, that this match was initially booked for New Japan Strong, but, he talked to Rocky Romero, who was also, present in the crowd, that, he got, he talked to New Japan officials too, and he got that match for Dynamite, the singles match. So then New Japan Strong got, I guess it was a 6-man tag, which happened recently, in the past week. So that happened. And other than that, this match, I could say that it was a feel-good dream match, and it was what it was. It was a feel-good dream match, and you can say that people were, wanting to watch this match absolutely. And what I saw, that it, Moxley took a different approach, that it was a slow, methodical pace to the match, similar to what his opponent is, that is Yuji Nagata. He is also, using in his matches. There was a lot of brawling, less of, moves, the wrestling, more of the kicks and, the brawling, the, the strong style. They were trying to, pump each other up, and they were trying to, establish that who is the alpha in this ring. So it was what it was, and in the end, it was a competitive back and forth. And in the end, John Moxley won with the Death Rider. So it was a good match. Not at all, you can say it was a fantastic, out of the, world. But yes, it was not also a bad match. No, absolutely not. It
And
was a good match.
And people may be wondering if we are getting why are we getting guys like Yuji Nagata and Kenta? Where are the big guys like Tanahashi? Where is the Naito, Ibushi, Okada? So there are two things that is stopping from getting into that situation. Number one, they are once again going back to the whole country into the lockdown or somewhat like. And number two is that if they do get some New Japan talents, the reason is that they want New Japan wants to keep the main eventers in Japan, because if New Japan is running a show, so they want the big names to sell tickets. So that's the one of the reason that they are not sending the big guys over to the states as of now.
Yes, completely understandable. And also, you could probably say that, yes, absolutely, the travel restrictions, as you said, and probably if they are to send any of those people, they would not send them in one go. Absolutely not. Probably one or two, as you have seen, right now, that, it is with, in succession. And also there is this thing that it should mean something. You know, one-off matches, absolutely, it is agreeable. But the fact is, when you are sending your, main event people, it should mean something. And also the AEW people, they would also not want the, main event talent of New Japan coming in and not mean something at all. They coming in for a one-off. They should come in and there should be a storyline and it should mean something and it should be in front of fans, that they get the reaction, they get the revenue, they get the ratings, and they get the publicity with the wrestling media and stuff like that. It should mean something. If Okada comes in and he does a one-off, what does it matter? One off, it doesn't matter. If he stays in and there is a story, stuff like that, he comes in for the AEW World Championship with regards to Kenny Omega, and there is a story, stuff like that. And Kenny Omega has the Young Bucks, he has the Good Brothers, he has Don Callis, and on the other side there is the babyface Kazuchika Okada, and there is a story behind it. It goes on for 2-3 pay-per-views, and then Okada finally dethrones him, and stuff like that. So there is a story, and it goes on. That gets the fans invested, and that creates the buzz, and that probably gets also new fans to come in. That what the fuck is happening, and it is great, and there is storytelling, and it is great wrestling. So that would probably get that would probably be more beneficial for both the companies, that it also gets New Japan publicity in the United States and worldwide, and also AEW. So that would probably be a more, better scenario, rather than having a one-off just for the sake of it, that, get Okada. We want Okada. We want the ratings. Short term would be bad. Getting him, getting the storyline, building a long term story, a program, that would be a lot better.
And you talked about publicity, and I want to say New Japan. The current New Japan product definitely needs publicity. Because you talk about NXT, you can also include a New Japan in there. Because these guys really are really got a big hit, really got affected due to this whole pandemic, and you need to what you can say, bring back those Western fans back to the product.
Yes, absolutely. It has affected them, and they are not getting right now Chris Jericho, John Moxley, and after the departure of the elite, yes, they have been affected, and this lockdown has also affected them. Absolutely, as you said,
Don't
they
don't
need
don't
them.
don't forget the booking. Don't forget the booking.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, they need them. All the companies need each other, so that they create compelling programming that gets the fan invested in professional wrestling as a whole. So it is great. Even you must have heard the rumors as well with regards to WWE working with the MLW. So will it happen, will it not, or will it go the way as Evolve, ECW, or the other people uh, met their fate? So probably MLW would also be very you can say think twice or thrice, probably working with WWE. So there's that. But yes, it is compelling programming. Absolutely, MLW has phenomenal talent, and WWE would benefit as well, and MLW too. So what happens in that space, uh, you know, it is great for the wrestling fans. But what happens to the said companies? Let's see.
So let's get to Cody Rhodes. So this guy had a uh, within lot it was in the news a lot. Created a somewhat of a controversy with the promo he did. So it was regarding Anthony Ogogo. So what happened was after he beat QT Marshall last week, so Ogogo cheap shotted him, and yeah, what he buried him with the Union Jack flag, something like that. So on
Mhm.
this week's edition, they had Cody Rhodes cutting a promo on Anthony Ogogo. So the promo was good, but the problem was he was mentioning countries, he was
Mhm.
mentioning racism, etc. And this all led to him challenging Ogogo at Double or Nothing. And this promo offended a lot of people. So what you think about this promo, and was it too much?
How did it offend people? Can you explain a little bit? Because what I saw in the tweets, that was only people shitting on it, that it was bad, and this stuff was probably done in the 80s or 90s. Only that. Uh, you know what comments you saw with regards to people being offended?
First off, let me tell you regarding my point of view. So
Mm-hmm.
I am not into politics and stuff. I thought this was a you're a typical great Cody promo. But
Mm-hmm.
the topic regarding he was cutting a promo, I think not many didn't like that, and many people
Mm-hmm.
felt it was not necessary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Probably, but the thing is that he was, trying to sell the, the match. So how can he do that? How can he make the fans invested? So it is up to him. You know, what things can he, touch so as to make the fans invested, and the things that are relevant to the said storyline, the said topic. So you said racism. Probably yes, it is a thing of the past, with regards to United States, and that is also you can say a topic which was recently in the news with regards to George Floyd. So he could dabble into that, and also it is with regards to his own life, that it is with his wife and his kid, and also he took to England and the patriotism and the visa stuff, and how Anthony has been in the United States, and he has been earning his shit here in the United States. So he took all of that, and he said all of that. Probably, I would agree, as you said, that the American people would understand this and would resonate with this promo a lot better than us, because we are here from India. So we would not, be as much invested in this story, or probably what Cody said. But yes, the sentiment and the way he was saying, yes, it was passionate and understandable, that it was a typical, yes, Cody promo that is fantastic in its own way, understandable. So yes, now he has taken the persona of the American dream, bestowed upon him by his father, and for only this match, I expect. And they are dubbing it as the American Dream versus the Olympic bronze medalist. And, you know, I have heard rumors that probably Kurt Angle is coming in. So I can expect that probably Kurt Angle could also be, dabbling in the storyline in the near future. So
For a
let's
one-off.
see. I don't see as a one-off. The thing is that he would be joining AEW, and Cody would be losing this match against Anthony Ogogo, and the guy who would be beating Anthony Ogogo finally to, you can say, maintain the prestige of the United States of America would be Kurt Angle. And it would not bury Anthony Ogogo as much because he lost to an Olympic gold medalist and also to a guy who is a legend in professional wrestling. And he also got an opportunity to wrestle a legend. So it would not bury him as much. And there's that. So probably
I
that
think
is what
I think
they're
I
doing.
I think Kurt Angle is not needed right now in AEW. Because we got Paul White, we got Christian Cage, and I think the Christian Cage, announcement, didn't know majority of the people weren't into that announcement. So I say, AEW should stop for now, into getting the big names, especially the legends. Stop for they should hold for now, unless it's a Daniel Bryan or a Samoa Joe. They shouldn't be going after. They shouldn't be going after part timers or legends.
For the said story, I do not see it probably any other way. And with regards to the people you just mentioned, probably they are also, coming in, to
So
AW, and let's see. Probably the second show would be announced very soon because they have to give TV time to all the said talents. So let's see.
So let's get into the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Young Bucks versus SCU. So the stipulation here was that if SCU lost, then they are done as a tag team. So we had a video package, showing the history between these two teams, the Young Bucks and SCU. The match, I think it was great, and I could say, it was the best Young Bucks match since the FTR one from Full Gear. What do you think?
I would absolutely agree with you. This was the best Young Bucks match in the recent time. Probably better than the FTR match. Probably, you know, there was a sense of urgency. They weren't, fucking around. There was a sense of energy. There was a sense of focus, and uh, even the things they were doing, it didn't feel like they were doing it for the sake of it. That there is a mindset. Probably that also resonates with the fans, and that also comes through. That what we are doing right now, this doesn't matter. So we are just here to enjoy ourselves. In the past matches which we have seen on TV, I'm not talking about their character. Absolutely not. Their energy, their focus, that also gets to the people. If not you, but the people who are watching the review right now. But it got to me, and I have seen their energy when they are, executing the super kicks and, anything and everything. There was a sense of urgency, energy, and everything they were doing. They made it, relevant, and they made it a thing with regards to the match, that it means something. It means something, and they have to make sure that they win. So that is what, if they do with regards to all their matches, even a little bit, even a little, back to what they did in this match. You can call them the, quote unquote, best tag team in the world, or, a great tag team. What they did in this match, absolutely phenomenal. It was a great match. I absolutely enjoyed this match. There was nothing I could say that was bad. The spot with regards to the Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels stuff that they did. Yes, absolutely. That stuff took me back to their BTE skits that they did in the in the, you can say, the past, the distant past, the things which they said in their skits, that took there, and I laughed out loud. But that was a very urgent shit. This super kick did, and the super kick also had the energy, and they took the pin, and it didn't go as well, absolutely not. But it took their, it was their character, absolutely. You know I could say anything less, but the fact was it was very well done. Kazarian, with his lariats, with his, offense, it looked like, he was there to win, and it was a fight. It, it was hard hitting action for him, competitive back and forth. Kazarian looked absolutely great in this match. And, there was a spot with regards to, you can say, a double pin by Kazarian, that he was trying to, pin one of the Young Bucks, and then, you know, the other one came from the top rope, and then he pinned the other one too. And, then also the match didn't, end. It was a great match. And lastly, with regards to the bleeding spot, that was also, done absolutely right. Uh, Probably we would see much more of such spots after what we saw last week in Blood and Guts. Uh, I think uh, that that shit, the bleeding shit, gets the fans invested more. That it is a fight, that there is a sense of urgency, and it takes us to the story. Very well, reminiscent of the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. We saw many of the matches which had bleeding, and it took us, in the story, and it looked like a fight. It didn't have only flips and routines. It had bleeding. It had us invested that there is a fight happening. So it also draws the casual fans. So probably if there is such matches or here and there which has bleeding spots, or wherever there is required, so probably that could get the fans invested too, and probably more fans can come in. WWE has completely you know have done with the bleeding. So their audience has been dropping consistently overall. You know, not talking about SmackDown and Fox, but overall from the past years. Uh, but stuff like this, it could get new fans, and that is the need of the hour for AEW, because their fans and their fan base has been stagnated. So probably it could get more fans to tune in to their product. So there could be that stuff. And with regards to you, what did you think about overall this match?
Yeah, like I said, the match was great. Best Young Bucks match in a long time, and it was a perfect TV match. And it was so great. I would have put this on Double or Nothing.
Absolutely. I would agree. Absolutely.
Instead of Kingston and Moxley, I would have put SEO versus the Bucks, and you could have made a even better build for this match.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. They should have. They should have. They didn't. Why? Uh, that is up to Tony Khan, and you know and probably they went out, these two teams, and they made sure that the booker takes that into consideration, that I should have booked this on double or
Mhm.
nothing rather than on television, and I should have invested more in the storyline, because I suspect that after that, the moonsault, debacle of Christopher Daniels, probably the whole company has lost faith in him, probably.
And he also kind of, I don't know if it was intentional or not. He tripped on the first attempt of the moonsault in this match, but he got the second time, which was great. And
Yes.
you talked about the the WrestleMania 24 recreation from Matt Jackson. There was another hilarious spot when they introduced the cold spray, and
Hmm.
Don Callis on commentary said, that will stop the bleeding.
Yes.
Great. That was brilliant.
He has been brilliant.
So at the end, Bucks beat SCU. SCU is done now. So they quickly go into this backstage segment involving Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. They were messing up the elite locker room, and I think this was a little unnecessary, because I think it took away from SCU's moment. you know
Hmm. Yes,
so,
I
but
would agree absolutely.
yeah, I think they had to give them some extra time, that they are done as a tag team, and especially considering that Christopher Daniels is officially retired in somewhat.
Hmm. Probably
But
they should have, but probably the bookers think that people don't give a flying fuck.
yeah, so after the Moxley and Kingston messed up the Elite's locker room, so the Elite would get there, so they are not happy. Carl Anderson is saying that this is the place where they praise the Lord. So we had the Bucks, so they issued a challenge to Kingston and Moxley at Double or Nothing, and
Hmm.
they also issued a challenge to Varsity Blondes, saying that they will be putting the tag titles on the line. So what do you think about this upcoming match next week with the Varsity Blondes, and are they number one in the tag team rankings?
I I think not, probably. The number one were SCU. Now probably they were number two, or probably not. But the only explanation I could think of is probably they are number two, or probably Varsity Blondes got the shot because of the recent Dark Side episode featuring Brian Pillman. The Brian Pillman story. So probably they are trying to get some momentum behind Brian Pillman Jr., and probably they could build the guy, or you know anything, they could get ratings, or probably they could get the story or stuff like that. So nonetheless, get some heat on the Bucks, and probably get some, sympathy, more sympathy on Pillman Jr.
So that's that. Before we get into the coronation of the Pinnacle, we had Hangman Page being interviewed. So he was with the
Mhm.
Dark Order. So the Page was talking about dropping in the men's World Championship rankings. So he was talking about Team Taz, also talking about Brian Cage. So he wants, to face Page again and see if Brian, he want to see if Brian,
Cage.
oof, he want to see if Brian Cage can beat him fair and square this time. So he challenged Brian Cage to a match at Double or Nothing. So I don't know if they, really want if the pay-per-view spot was really necessary. I could have seen this on a random Dynamite, but what you think about putting it on a Dynamite? Is it that Hangman Page is a big star and they don't want him off the pay-per-view?
Yes, absolutely agreed. That would be the reason, and probably take one back, for Hangman Page, so as to balance the the things that yes, Brian Cage won, the first meeting, and now Hangman Page is getting one back, so as to balance the odds that yes, neither the both the guys are good in their own way. So let's see.
And you also have Ricky Starks. So this poor fellow did injure his neck in that German suplex all that weeks ago.
So uh, that match happened on Dynamite, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
So there could be. I am not. That just hit my mind. There could be a reason. This that Brian Cage won that match because Hangman Page was probably punished for the said thing which you probably just mentioned.
I don't think they
So
will
there,
punish. I
there,
don't
there
think they will punish Hangman Page.
yes, I also do not think that yes, he is a one of the biggest stars of the promotion, but the fact is that what is the explanation that they were building him and he was the number one rank guy and stuff like that, and now they have just got him away. We were also expecting that there would have been Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page at Double or Nothing, or the pay-per-view, and now we are getting fucking a triple threat.
But
And that also looks very out of the blue.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. And but at the end of the day, everything is making sense. I think they really want
Yes,
to hold off Page versus Omega. So I think they want to do it in the next paper or something like that.
yes. We also talked about that they should stretch that as long as possible. So probably whatever happened, it was for the best.
So that was regarding Page versus Brian Cage for Double or Nothing. So let's get to the Pinnacle. So they were celebrating in the ring. So they had is so they had the Pinnacle. I was saying the inner circle. So they had the Pinnacle coming out with a bunch of ladies. So we had Tully Blanchard gifting all the members brand new watches. I think it was Rolex. On one hand, we had MJF, he had a crown, so he was cutting a promo. On the other hand, we had Wardlow, so he was busy, talking to the ladies. So MJF was talking about that he is the taken Chris Jericho's top spot. He is the demigod, etc. So we would see, the inner circle. We had Jericho, we had Ortiz, Hager, Guevara. So they came out, in a trailer of somewhat attached to a golf cart. So
Yes.
Jericho was kind of selling, the quote unquote injuries from blood and guts. He had a giant, what is it? A vest or a,
Gas.
yes, it was a giant cast. So they came out in this trailer. So they want another rematch, that they want to finally take out the Pinnacle. So MJF was not interested. Before that, there is another thing is that MJF actually, got Santana, quote unquote, arrested or detained because he was trying to use a pitchfork in that blood and guts match. So
Hmm.
Inner Circle, so they want a rematch. So MJ wasn't interested and was denying it. So Jericho, so it was the trailer that he came and was actually filled with bubbly. So they sprayed the bubbly into the ring. How original is this, right? So they sprayed the bubbly all over the Pinnacle members. So finally MJF accepted the rematch and said it's going to be happening at Double or Nothing, and it's going to be Stadium Stampede. But he also noted that it's not going to be any comedy shit like last year, and there is also a stipulation: if Pinnacle beat Inner Circle again, then Inner Circle is done for good. So we still have to wait from the response from Jericho. So there you go. Do you think? I got two questions for you. Did we really needed a rematch between these two factions? And if yes, should a setting like Stadium Stampede will fit this?
Mm, did we need a match? I don't think so. But the fact is that you have to conclude the story, and to conclude a story, the baby faces have to win. So there have to be a match where the Inner Circle wins, and it you know closes the set story. So it would have happened any other way. And with regards to you saying that, was the stipulation required? Stampede? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But, they are doing it for the sake of it, getting the, fans hooked or keeping the fans hooked. Someone, probably Cornet said that, they are doing this shit, their ratings go up when they, get a celebrity or probably, book a stadium stampede or, blood and guts. Their ratings go up and then they, slightly go down. So they have to, book their shows a lot better and book in such a way or probably get the motive should be to get more fans invested. Agreed. So they have to book that in that way. So you can do so much of such matches in quick succession, and because there will come a point when the people would be fuck it, I'm bored, because in such quick succession you are having such matches of big proportions. Why? There should be some urgency, some story, something, so as to make it mean something. There was no need, absolutely agreed. For a stadium stampede, could have had blood and gut, or stadium stampede. Could have booked blood and guts for the pay-per-view. But I would say something and the people at AEW would be fucking offended. If I say, people are marks or something like that. The fact is that, you
Or
know, do,
they could have taken the those two faction of the paper completely.
probably, but they could not afford that, probably because of how much the people such as Chris Jericho are draws, so they get the pay-per-view revenue in. So there's that. They could have booked one of the two matches they could have, even if you are saying that the Stadium Stampede was probably more important, so they could have booked only Stadium Stampede and they could have, stopped or probably stretched their long awaited, this blood and guts match for the, foreseeable future. They could have had it with someone else in the future. Why having it, now? So there's that.
Or
And yes,
uh, they could have went the route of booking a random singles match. For example, we could have MJF versus Sammy Guevara.
yes, why not? But right now they are only focusing with regards to them as gang warfare or probably stuff like that. Probably, I was wondering that you could have, or this rivalry would go into many stories, like Sean Spears versus Sammy Guevara, FTR versus LAX, and probably Jericho versus MJF. But the fact is that they do not have such screen time. They only have one show, which is 2 hours. So how the fuck can we book all of these talents? So they are only going with Pinnacle versus Inner Circle. We can't do all these stories right now because we also have other stories to book. So right now we can only do this. So go.
And the matches you mentioned, could be happening after the paper is done. And after who knows, maybe the inner circle is no more.
I suspect the likelihood of it very small, but let's see what happens. I had prediction of some sort, but I was not able to express it. That was that probably Ortiz would be the turncoat, that he would probably betray the inner circle, because Ortiz was not seen on the mic uh, in the build up to the the show. So I was very curious that why isn't he speaking, or it could be the reason that he's not good on the mic.
He can speak. He can speak.
So, but they didn't give him a chance. So, or probably they edited it out because probably the material was not good or stuff like that. So I was curious, probably, so I thought that probably Ortiz would, he is not, trashing the other team. Probably he would be the one who would betray the inner circle or stuff like that. So, but it didn't happen, you know, and even, there was a one complaint or probably something like that, because I have been on, the pack or the team of the Pinnacle. So I didn't see the Pinnacle, that is the heel team or the villain team, in dominance for a period of time on Blood and Guts. So how are they booking them? That is a very big question. That the team is, it is having such people who are talented, and they are the villain. Understandable. The other team has Chris Jericho and other people. They are probably baby faces or probably tweeners or probably the people who are anti-heroes. But the anti-heroes were in complete dominance. But yes, they did the right thing by giving Pinnacle the victory. So that was the saving grace. But Pinnacle was never in, dominance, never for a prolonged period of time. So, how would you see them, as villains or probably heels or whatever? So is there egos? Is there an ego clash that they don't like each other? And Chris Jericho wants to fucking be in complete dominance even when they are baby faces. So they want to be fucking NWO 2.0. So what is the mindset?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And what you said, I think that's pro wrestling 101. If if speaking about the match, if they are not
Yes.
looking strong, but they did get the victory at the end.
Yes.
But if you want to say, if you want to make say Wardlow strong, if you want to make FTR even stronger, if you want to
Hmm.
give Sean Spears some credibility, then they could do in some form individually, but as a make the the faction as a whole little stronger.
Hmm. Yes. Even individually, I have not seen anything that could make them make us invested or even see them as fucking legit threats. you know
Let's see, man. Let's see. As of now, MJF, FTR, they are established. They look great
Mhm.
at whatever they do. Uh,
Mhm.
Sean Spears and even Wardlow, I think they need to up their game a little bit.
Yes.
So let's get to Orange Cassidy versus Pac, man. So this was, we had world title implications for this one. So the winner gets Kenny Omega double or nothing. So the match, was kind of different from what they had at Revolution. Uh, and we had Pac, dominating for most parts. And there was a point, I think, Pac accidentally knocked out Orange Cassidy with that high angle power bomb. And we would see we would come to the conclusion of this match. So I think there was a botch, and it came, after Cassidy was knocked out. So the report going around is that the original plan was, to in both these guys to go to a time limit draw. But after
Mhm.
the injury, so they had to little improvise. So we had Callis coming out and trying to cause some distraction while Orange Cassidy was being checked by the doctor. So Omega came in, knocks out Pac with his title. So now both men are down. So Orange Cassidy is being checked on the other side, but referee Aubrey Edwards decides to count out both men. So double count out, nobody wins here. So Omega was gloating that now that both men have lost, he will be quote unquote getting a time off at double or nothing.
Mhm.
So here comes Tony Schiavone, and he comes up with the breaking news that Tony Khan has decided to book a triple threat at Double or Nothing. It's going to be Pac, Orange Cassidy, Omega for the championship. So Omega was not pleased with the decision, and he decided, let's go back to Winnipeg. That's basically it. So uh, I would have taken a singles match, be it Cassidy or Pac at Double or Nothing, especially Cassidy. A singles match with Cassidy would have worked. We have full crowd, and that crowd, like we have said repeatedly on this show, that a
Mhm.
full house crowd makes Orange Cassidy the superstar he is.
Yes. Absolutely, but that could the fact is that when there is a triple threat scenario, so that probably many at times gives you the leverage, so as to you know ensure that the other people are saved from being quote unquote, in the words of the IWC, buried many a times, or their stock going way down. That probably saves them if they are in singles action, scenario. in comparison to, when there is a triple threat scenario. Triple threat scenario many a times also gives you, you can say, the leverage. If AEW gives them, triple threat or three-way matches have, no disqualification. That was, a thing in WWE. I remember. If AEW does have that thing, so then, the Good Brothers could also, give dividends, and they could, probably ensure that Omega wins the match. So that would, make sure that Pac and, Cassidy don't win. So
Is it that they didn't wanted either Pac or Cassidy to lose, in short, to I think they wanted to protect both these two and wanted
yes,
to go through a no contest or something like that.
yes, absolutely. That is also true. Make sure that there is no, clear winner, because they have to protect both the guys, and they're equally talented in their own ways, and they are equally strong contenders in the eyes of the crowd. So they are making sure at, on Dynamite, and also on the pay-per-view as well.
But still, man, I would have taken a singles match over this.
Absolutely, singles matches are, highly entertaining. Absolutely, I would agree. And, with regards to the, said, botch, or say, the accident, you know, a thing happened. Was it, impeccable selling, or probably Cassidy hurt him, with regards to, him being, you know, with his move. It was that at the start of the match, he being Orange Cassidy, he hit Pac with the, beach bag. So after that, Pac was clutching his neck for a prolonged period of time. So I do not know that if it was selling, or probably he was hurt in real. So, and if also, if there is, heat, or probably a different attitude with regards to both the contenders. So there could be, because the fact is that if you go to the past, that there was a guy named Enzo Amore, and there was a guy named Neville on, 205 Live. So, and there is this situation. So we knew that there was a scenario where, Neville or Pac, so he was put in a position that he was taking such losses, but the other guy, that is Enzo, was a huge draw. That is why he was holding the championship belt, and he was a draw. We know that. That is, clearly an established, fact. If you do not know, you can go out there and you can, get the numbers. So he had a, a bad taste in his mouth, he being Neville or Pac. So he, went home, and he, wrote his contract out, because the fact is that he is talented, he is hardworking, he is, great in his own right. So he didn't want to, subject himself to the shit that was happening. So he went away, because he didn't want to, work in that scenario. So here he was given a situation that he is working against Orange Cassidy, and the match is going to a draw. So if you are on if you are wearing the shoes of Pac, you can, have. I'm not saying he has and I have the information. No, I'm saying that you can have that perspective here, that I am going to give this, fucking guy a draw. He is a huge draw, agreed. And I am giving here, a match that is going to a time limit draw. And then I am going to face Kenny Omega in a three-way match, which I should have a singles match because I have beaten him in previous competitions. I guess one or two times. You know, so I could have that match and we would tear the house down. So right now I am having to deal with this guy and I am having a three-way match. Why? Just because he's a draw, he will draw fans. Kenny Omega is not a draw. That is established in the recent past of the ratings of AEW and even probably Impact in the TV ratings. I'm not saying the pay-per-view bias. Absolutely not. So probably after the beach break that happened, it aggravated Pac and he started targeting Orange Cassidy with all his, fucking frustration. Then he was doing the submissions. He was trying to choke him out. He did the missile drop kicks. And the missile drop kicks you saw, they were targeting here and they were fucking, hard as hell. If you saw it, he was, hitting here. It was multiple missile drop kicks. I am going very long. I'm very sorry about that. But the fact is, then after that, you know, the thrust kick happened. Then it was probably someone said that it was the mistake of Orange Cassidy, that he should have gone back before. He shouldn't have gone forward to the kick. He should have gone backwards. So it was probably Cassidy's, mistake. So then it happened, and then he got with the power bomb. Power bomb was also, or Liger bomb, also what was with such high, stack that it did the fucking deal. That he was probably half out, he being Cassidy, after the thrust kick and the Liger bomb, it did the whole fucking deal. So there's fucking that.
So now we got a triple threat, and we could expect this to be a great match in all of the other matches that will be on that pay-per-view.
Yes, I would agree that it should be. It is a triple threat match with three, talented individuals, and I would expect that it should be a good match. And they're saying that it would be, the main event. So I would expect that it should be a good match.
So from that, we get to I think I forgot about Christian K. So this guy also had a promo here. So so he has been he'll be part of Double or Nothing in that casino battle royal that they do for Double or Nothing. So he's in. So he was talking about Team Taz. So they have a small ongoing feud going on. So then he's interrupted by Matt Seidel. So they go a little back and forth, and Matt Seidel challenged Christian Cage to a match. I think it is going to happen next week, something like that. And I have an assumption that Christian Cage is a clear winner for that battle royal.
I would agree with that too. Except if they have signed some guy and they would throw him in the battle royal.
It's regarding the main event, so I think AEW will go so somewhat lightly on this situation. They did
Christian
with
Cage, yes.
Yeah, the situation that you talked about, they kind of did it last year with Brian Cage, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
They could
Yes.
do this year, but you already have a big guy in Christian Cage, so you can easily thrust him in that main event scene. They already teased a potential match between him and
Yes.
Omega. So I
Hmm.
think instead of climbing the rankings, just give him this title shot if they want to.
Hmm. Yes, they can do that, and then he would have the match, and we all know who would be, you know, as if you were, booking a lengthy title run. So then, Omega would be, winning. But the fact is that yes, it would be a very, competitive match. It would be a great match, and then, we can expect after that, you know, the surprise arrivals, you know, with the
Let's see.
likes of whoever.
Let's see if Christian is winning. I hope the fans accept this win and he doesn't
No,
get
no,
booed
I'm
out
not
of the
saying
building.
Christian winning. A Christian winning, okay, the battle royal, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hope the fans accept it or he's getting booed out of the building.
uh, uh, let's see. I would expect that he would be accepted.
So we had a squash match involving Thunder Rosa. So she had a short, quick finish. I think she beat. I don't get the name. Who was? It was some
it was
new.
it
Did you?
was Jasmine Allure, and she is probably one of the students of her promotion. That is, I guess, Mission Pro Wrestling.
I think so. So she beat her in quick fashion.
Hmm.
So commentators are saying that not only she wants the AEW Women's Championship, she also wants back the NW Women's Championship as well. So let's see where that goes. And I hope I want to see a rematch between Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. But then the double or nothing card is already stacked. So do it on a dynamite instead.
Yes, do it on a dynamite instead, absolutely. And she would be having, I would expect, a match, in the recent future against, the new champion, that the new AW Women's Champion, that would be Britt Baker,
Has to be.
because yes, because she has had a victory over her. So yes, I expect Britt Baker to have won back over Thunder Rosa, but yes, it would be a great match. Absolutely.
So you mentioned Britt Baker here. So she had a little sit-down interview with Jim Ross. So they talk about the small history between her and Shida. Dating back to last year when Shida busted the nose of Britt Baker. So she said the second time around she's gonna not just beat Shida, but take the women's championship from away from Shida. So nothing much here, but I think if you want to build toward this feud, I could it could help if you give the mic to Shida. You could do a little face to face between Shida and Britt Baker. It doesn't have to be in front of a live crowd. You can do it in a backstage segment because we also I
Straight up.
think yes, we also need to hear the perspective of Shida as well. And you could you do this in a similar way. They did with Orange Cassidy versus Jericho all that months ago. Remember?
Hmm. They could do that, but I don't know if they are willing to, you know, have that much, you know, investment in the said feud with regards to that. Yes, we know that probably they have, given that character of, Shida, that she is a warrior. She doesn't speak much, but she is all about action. So probably that is what they are trying to sell. We have not. They, aired a segment in this. said interview that was probably a Forbes, photo shoot of some kind. So they said that, Britt Baker, confronted Shida or something like that, and they had a pull off or something. So I can understand that, yes, they are doing that. Yes, it should happen on such stuff, can happen on Dynamite or something like that. Sit down interview,
They could
it
try.
should.
They could try it.
They could try it, but how they are, perceiving that character, and what is their investment, and how much do they think about her oratory skills, that you know do they translate to the crowd as much they as they do, or should we keep her as she is, that is a warrior who speaks with her actions, and we should only give the mic time to Britt Baker.
Let's see.
So,
Let's see how it goes. Let's quickly get into the main event then. Darby Allin was Miro. This was for the TNT Championship. So, they showed, a little video package for Darby. So he was talking about Miro, saying what has he done since he has got into AEW? Nothing, just playing games, etc. So I think they also showed the footage of him being dropped by, both Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page last week, when he was thrown down the steps. So, what you think about this match overall?
I thought that it was a great match. You know, Miro was the perfect foil for Darby Allin. And you can say that Darby was the beloved babyface for this match, and Miro has come from the land of Titans, pun intended, Titan Towers, and he has been undefeated in singles action and still is. And uh, we can say that his arrival has been underwhelming, but you can't deny that the guy has potential, you know, and it has been, you can say, shackled in the company of Sabian and Penelope, but now the fact is that all the chains are off after the assault 2 weeks ago, and now he won championships, and there was the match booked this week, and he got it. And Darby has become one of the biggest stars of the promotion, loved by all, mentored by Sting, and he has everything, and he is, you can say, become everything that he wanted. But his time has come. The assault from Miro pre Bell was fucking unforgiving. Some can say it was fucking phenomenal, but the fact was, yes, it was fucking unforgiving. And you can say the throw, as you just mentioned, from Oligo, Ethan Page, and Scorpio Sky last week down the stairs, and the relentless title defenses from Darby Allin have got up to him. And it was time this week. The time would have been this week, or it would have been next week, and the time was this week, and it caught up to him. And Miro, I said probably 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that probably it hit my mind that yes, Miro would be the one to dethrone you know Darby Allin, because they would build Miro as a fucking tank, as a fucking threat, and he would be built as such. that he would have a successful, run, being undefeated. So there's that. And I would not have expected anything less from him and from the bookers as well with regards to his character. And we also, you can say, expected this character to come about when he arrived, he being Miro on AEW. So now his character has now, taken full manifestation. And now he would go and he would destroy anything in his path. So there's that. There was a great flurry at the end from Darby Allin, but it was not enough. It was
Please,
not enough.
please talk about that tope suicida. The guy literally bounced off Miro.
Yes, literally. He did. He was bouncing around throughout the match, but then it was Miro, throwing him here and there. But then that fucking suicida.
Only two guys in this business should be allowed to do that. Darby Allin and Ray Phoenix. Nobody else. And when it comes to Darby Allin, they also did somewhat of a spot with Sting, so saying that that they are buddies, something like that. You notice that, right?
Yes,
the fist bump. Yes, and we also had the Page and Sky attacking Sting mid match.
Yes, the chop block, and then they ran away on the same leg that they targeted some odd weeks ago. Yes.
So they would come back after the match, and attack Sting again, and then the Dark Order came out. So
yes.
Miro is the new TNT champion. Darby Allin, I think his title reign was better than Cody's. Do you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree. He has, become a main event, star with regards to AEW, and fucking phenomenal. And he has also made people invested in him with regards to his character. Yes, absolutely, and with regards to his performances also, highly entertaining and brilliant stuff. And right now I would expect that they are probably booking a tag team match, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page versus Sting and Darby Allin at probably Double or Nothing. It seems like that way.
It's a conclusion, I could say. It's a conclusion as of now.
Let's see.
And
probably that would be the way to go.
So at the Double or Nothing card is stacked. I think they are waiting for two more big matches. One is this tag team match, and another a potential TNT title match. Which
Yes.
they kind of teased it. I think you noticed floating around social media that Lance Archer came out to challenge Miro.
Yes. But wouldn't it hurt a little bit, that Lance Archer losing,
Yeah, I get where you're going from with this, but if they want to do this match, either do it after the pay-per-view. That would be better. If don't you think?
Yes, I get your point, and it also makes sense because it is a TNT championship. It is not for the pay-per-views.
Or if you want
a TV championship.
Yeah, or if you want Miro to be part of the pay-per-view, you could do some segment, or you could do a normal squash match just to fuck around.
Yes, absolutely. And also they can do a backstage segment with Lance Archer and Miro in some shape or form, or maybe an interview segment or some sort. so as to, get the fans invested who have bought the pay-per-view to see your show. That, the match is happening on Wednesday, and for us it is Thursday. That the match is happening, watch it. So you can do that, absolutely. And with regards to Lance Archer, being the opponent, that also makes sense because last we saw of him, he was on the side, or you can say he was, uh, a little buddy of some sort with, Sting. Uh, so, it only makes sense that, he goes after Miro.
Or they could do a situation involving all 6 guys here. Maybe they are planning to do a tag team match. You could add Lance Archer and Miro to that situation too.
Mm-hmm. Uh, they could do that, but that would be very WWE-esque.
I think that this
uh,
this tag team match is the least favorite match on that card if it gets there.
yes. Mm, highly unlikely, but you know, let's see what they are uh,
I think I think
willing to do
I think we will talk in depth about this whole tag team situation that's gonna happen at Double or Nothing next week.
next week. Yes, absolutely. And just one more thing, the thing that they did with regards to this match, sending out, or I should say, Dark Order coming out to, to the aid of Sting and Darby Allin. That makes sense. Probably I have said in the past at some point of time. That is that this thing is very, missing in WWE. When I, was probably watching that, there is, we see that the heels or the villains, they, attack the baby faces when they have a numbers advantage. But that there are a lot of baby faces backstage, but they do not come to the aid. So the fans are, a little out of the perspective that, they can come and save, even if they are not, your buddy or your, fucking tag team partner. You have a conscience, so you can come and save them. So if Dark Order are such, people who come to the aid and they have a conscience that they are baby faces, if that is what the, concept is here, and I think that is, so that is with logic, and that is brilliant stuff. So full marks with regards to that, you know.
So yeah, man, that was Dynamite. And before we leave, where can these guys find you?
Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Abhimaniac, and I am currently working with an independent wrestling promotion in India called Wrestle Square. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Abhimaniac.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. And if you want to catch this review in audio format, you can catch it on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the AEW Dynamite review, and see you guys next time.